Hello, and welcome back. Wait, it's my pajamas here. Welcome back to another knitting podcast thingy. Hold on a second. The heating here, it's like warm air, and it has cracked the heck out of my lips. Straight down the line, it really hurts. But we're not here to talk about my boo-boos. We are here to talk about knitting, and this is not something new. I'm not going to be talking about this today. However, I am actually way more I did not start my microphone. I was just about to say that I'm more prepared than usual, but apparently not. In any case, you see this? Well, this is Laine. He's like a bunny that's very famous in Japan, but actually originally from the Netherlands. So I got this at Hema, for those who are in the know. But yeah, this notebook is significant because I actually wrote down all the things that I would like to talk about. That I would like to talk about today in this notebook. Yes, they are. Some tragic things have happened, I must confess. But let's start with update. Socks. Slow, it says. Basically, last episode I said I was working on this pair. Well, by the way, the last time that the day I recorded the last episode is exactly a week before this. Yeah, so I'm trying to do this on a weekly basis, trying to make these knitting updates as like a motivation for myself. But yes, last week I said that I was knitting my own socks with the gusset on the bottom. That's why it kind of looks, I guess, a bit different. Yes, I said I was doing my own because I was making my friend's one, and that one was bigger, or at least like it had it looks almost the same. No, it doesn't. But but I was gonna make my own first, finish my own pair first, because I felt that would be faster and give me like more motivation and energy to finish their pair of socks. But I haven't finished it yet, and I was so confident that I would. I got till I finished the gusset again, and I'm just knitting the foot, so just straight stockinette stitch, very easy, but I have not finished it. Why, you might ask? Well, I'll talk about that later, but I started a couple of new projects, so as a result, like everything else just becomes slower. But yes, still working on this. So hopefully by next week I will actually have a pair to show you that I can actually wear on my feet and go outside and do my daily things that I do on my day-to-day basis thing. Yeah. So now that I'm thinking about it, like today was actually pretty hot. Like I did not wear my jacket today. In the classroom I did have a sweater, but it was quite warm. So I want to finish these quickly so that I can at the very least wear these once, because I heard that summers in Tokyo are unbearable and really, really hot. So I want to make use of them naturally. So yeah, this is what I have here. Yeah, I think that's everything with the sock update. Slow. Oh, I did write down like all the information. Needle size 3mm, yarn onion number 4, color 833. It's 70% wool, and 30% nettle. I messed that up twice in episode 1 and 2, I believe, but this time I got it right. Yes, continuing. Well, let's go on to the new projects. Well, remember this book? Kimawasi Nitto by Hana Saito. This one, basically, it means mix and match knitwear. It also has an English title, Knitwear Designed in Various Ways. So it has 25 patterns, or at least, I think, a little less than that, 23, because some are like knit in different colors. For instance, you have here 01 and 02. This is like a frill sweater thingy. Yeah, so I was making number G in here. Well, I've been wanting to make it. It's the frill yoke sweater. Oh, I should have put the page number. Okay, so this sweater here, really cute. This is the front, but I'm going to do a different, going to do it differently and just like make the frill go completely across the chest. So I started with this, and I was a good knitter because well, I'm saying good knitter, but just wait and see. But I actually made the like a swatch, and I did it correctly. Like so basically when you're knitting in the round, you have to make a gauge or a swatch that like mimics that, essentially. So the way to do that is just like knit one way, and then you take like the yarn to the back so that you don't have to like knit double the swatch, essentially. So I did it, and I blocked it, and it was nice, good. It was like, I got it instantly. It was correct. I mean, look at the fabric. I love it so much. I'm getting ahead of myself, but yeah, should I just talk about the fabric? So as I said previously, I'm going to try and knit for these next 5 months with Japanese yarn only, except for like the yarn that I took with me from the Netherlands, which there's just like 150 grams left of that, or 200 grams left of that. But anyway, yeah, so this one is from Daruma, and it's called Genmo ni chikai merino uru. So it's like close to raw wool merino. It's 100%. It's number 4, dark green, the color, and it's from Daruma, which is like one of the most popular like fancy or like stylish knitting companies in Japan. I guess like if I were to make a comparison, I would say like Wool and the Gang, like Japan's Wool and the Gang, essentially. Yes. So yeah, I basically use the same yarn that I'm guessing that their last name is Hana. I don't know, because it's written in katakana. I am like, anyway, the knitwear designer Hana Saito, yeah, I used the same yarn as her. So yeah, maybe I can put a picture of like how far I got. Basically, like I knit, so the thing is, the way it's constructed, it is bottom to top. So you do the body, then you do the arms separately, and then you combine that together, and then you knit up, and then you do the frills afterward. Oh yeah, let me wow, for some reason I just blacked out for a good 20 seconds. But what I wanted to say about that this is a tragedy. This is a sad thing, because basically I started doing the body and I cast on like 200 plus stitches, right? And I was like, okay, maybe I need like on circular needles. So I was like, oh, maybe I need like 120, like the length of the circular needles, because I have interchangeable ones. So I was like, maybe I need such a wire so that I can keep on trying the sweater because I'm impatient. And then I noticed that it's kind of annoying because you end up kind of like what you have with a sock, that you have to like shifting the stitches. So I made 100% sure that I did not twist the yarn when I attached it. You know, the first round. But then, when I realized that the wire was too long, I switched from one of 120, I think, to 180. And then for some reason, I came to basically, you have to then, it's not very complicated, but imagine like switching needles. That means basically that you need, that you're knitting and then the wire that the stitches are coming on, or the one of like 80 centimeter. I'm centimeters. I am not explaining this well, but so then you come to the point where you're getting like the entire work onto your needles, and I was like, could it occur that I can twist the yarn on the second round? And for some reason that idea came up in my mind, and I did not do anything with it. And as a result, I twisted my knitwork on the second round. Tragic, because I only found out like maybe 15 rounds, 12 rounds. So I had knit like 2,000 stitches at the very least, and I was like admiring it, like I am doing this because it's like so nice and soft. And then I realized it at like very late, like 12 midnight, and that was just not a good time frame. The time frame was not good for me to discover something so tragic, and I was devastated. I was sad, I was annoyed, all sorts of like emotions were coming up in my mind, and I ended up ripping it all out, obviously, because I can't do anything with it. So I ripped it out. I said sayonara to that ball of yarn. I put it like up here so I don't have to see it and get reminded of it. I took out a new ball of yarn, and then now I've started again. This was like, I think yesterday or the day before that it happened. I'm pretty sure it was yesterday that it happened, because I don't know. Anyway, I'm back at 0 again. Like, this is my first row. Like, after casting on, this is my first row, and I am constantly checking to see that it isn't like twisted. That's also such like a newbie like mistake, you know, because like the thing is, when you twist your yarn, right, it's it's so painful. Like, the experience is seared into your brain. Like, I know the other project that I messed up, which was Gregoria Fibers, which was the vest that I still haven't finished, by the way. But that also had like a good number of stitches, like, I don't know, maybe 250 or something. And I twisted it, and I found out after like 30 rows or something. And like, the pain and the trauma of that experience should have been enough for me to prevent this from happening. I should have actually questioned what I was thinking, like, can I twist my yarn on the second round? I should have like investigated that thought and prevented this tragedy, but unfortunately that has not happened, or that did not happen, and so I'm back to this. So hopefully next week I'll have at least this much to show for. And if not, I don't even know if I'm gonna make a podcast episode anymore. Like, if this happens again, I am like, I don't know, pulling all my hair out. Yeah, okay. Another new project that I have started, which has been a bit filled with, how would I say this, annoyance, impatience already, and I haven't even started on the actual thing. Basically, I'm having issues with the swatch. So this is a pattern. I forgot to write down the person who made it, but I will put their name here. The pattern is called Swirly pattern, and it is really, 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 really cute. It is a vest, and show it. Editing Seji. It is so pretty. I really think it's a really cool lava lamp design. I think that's really awesome. Yeah, I was really happy to find this design floating around online, because for the longest time I have been wanting to make like a swirly type of lava lamp-esque sweater, because I've seen them around, but usually they're made with 3 colors or more, and I thought that would be really hard to like knit myself, because I'm not really good at knitting with different colors, and so that's why it was cool to see this one made with 2, and hopefully it will give me enough confidence so that in the future I can like design my own like swirl type pattern. So yeah, so I was looking, so basically the person who made this, the yarn that they use was Angora, and they found it secondhand, and like basically it was for 50 meters about 200 plus 50 grams, there was about 200 plus meters of that yarn. That was the yardage, if that's how you if that's the way to say it. Anyway, I tried to find Angora, but it's so freaking expensive, but I'll get to that later. Discuss that a bit more, like cheap yarn in Japan. Anyway, I eventually opted to do cotton, because the pattern said, you know, you could also do cotton or bamboo or anything that feels nice to like the touch of the skin. So I did cotton, and the yardage is a bit different. Really, honestly, I have no idea what I'm doing here. But yeah, basically I got this color and this color. So as you can see, they don't really look like your standard, I don't know, yarn thing packaging, like, I don't know. Anyway, this is like factory-esque thingy, right? So basically, okay, I got this from an online store called Itobatake, and basically this is, I believe, like yarn dyeing a factory in Osaka, which is in the south of Japan, which has been dyeing for decades, like a good number of decades, I believe. And last year they opened up a shop where they basically collect a yarn that is left over from like industrial yarn, right, that are made with like hand knitting machines. Basically they collect that yarn, and they basically, that yarn often, you know, if you look at machine knitted works, you'll see that it's like really freaking tiny. Like you can't knit that unless you want to spend like 10 years working on one single gosh darn sweater. So what they do is that they will take that yarn, they'll transform it, they'll dye it, do some fun cool things with it, and then they'll resell it very cheaply. Yes. So they only do like send to Japan, only within Japan. But since I'm there, since I'm here in Japan, I actually could order it. So this was also, by the way, really freaking fast. Like they got this here within a day. So yeah, I got this yarn, and for anyone who might be interested in getting it, it is called Candy Cotton. So yeah, that's the yarn name, and then it's Marigoldo. So this one, Marigold, and Emerald Blue. So emerald blue. And the yardage is 100 grams per 290 meters. So I have been working on my swatch, and like if you look at the back, it's completely miserable. This is, I don't know, like trying to get a good swatch using cotton that, I don't know, really, it doesn't like really grip, or like me making the where's the swatch? Me making this swatch in the round was like super easy, no problems at all, because like, you know, it's wool, there's some grip to it, but the cotton, I don't know, it's really freaking hard to make an actual good swatch. So this is how far I've gotten, and I'm completely over this gosh darn swatch. I think it kind of is like the size. The problem is with cotton, there's not that much stretch, you know? So if I mess up, I've messed up, you know? There's no, oh, maybe I can block it and like it'll like grow. No, it won't. So, that's the only thing that's keeping me from actually starting the project now. I want to get an actual good swatch. So I need to knit like twice as much as I've knit already here. But this is absolutely miserable. Look how like disorganized and what a freaking mess this is. So yeah, that's how it's been going with the swirly top. Yeah. Is there anything else I wanted to say about this? I did want to mention, by the way, and I keep forgetting this, is that this yarn stinks, like absolutely stinks. There's such a disgusting smell to this. But after I blocked it, it was really nice. It was like fine, like very clean, like I liked it. But like this, well, now it's fine too. Anyway, maybe I was just making that up in my head, but yeah. This, I'm gonna continue. So, yeah, that's it for new projects, I guess. I do not have enough of this, I think. I need about 100 grams more because I have 300 of each color, and I'm gonna try and make a bit of a slightly oversized version so that I can also wear it with a top underneath if I want to, like in the winter or whatever. And yeah, so I'm gonna look and see if I can order that soon before it like sells out, because a lot of the things on that website sell out because it's like limited stock, right? They also have a new drop of cotton soon, and I might look into that. But yeah, how much did this cost? I'm not too sure. I think each per 100 gram was about 900 yen, like maximum 900 yen. So that's like $7 for 100 grams, which I think is a pretty good price. Also, I love the colors. They are very cute. So, moving on. The two things that I still want to talk about. First off is knitting yarn in Japan. So I think I already like touched a bit upon this last week, but it's kind of hard finding yarn stores. But what I have discovered in recent times is that there are many ways in which you can get cheap yarn in Japan, and that is going to companies that recycle knitting machine purposed yarn, and that's what I have been doing. I have ordered some here, some there and I'll talk about them in the future. Some have arrived, some haven't, but I don't want to like show you everything at once, you know. I want you to like keep coming here. So, you know, like maybe next time I'll show you another company. Sorry, I'm being silly, but since I spoke about Itobatake, I thought I could just tell you all the yarn that I got. So, first off, where's my notebook? First up, we have Angora wool. This is, I thought it was like 100% Angora, but it turns out it's not. I missed out on a kanji that said, it said 100% Angora wool mixture, which is like, is it 100% Angora wool? Or is it a mixture with something else? So I don't really know for sure what they meant with that, but I do think that it is a mixture of something. But that's sometimes an issue, right? The issue with these things sometimes is that sometimes they just don't know what the mixture of the yarn is. Yeah, so that's a bit tricky, but I thought actually this would be like the perfect yarn for the swirly pattern, but they only had this color and like a kind of like washed out green, and I did not like the combination. They had like a very bright blue, no, a bright green, like almost like, I don't know, poison. Does that make any sense? Like really like green. So, but that one was sold out, so unfortunately I could not get that. But I figured, it's like, this is a nice color, this seems like nice fabric, and now that I have it in my hand, it feels like nice fabric actually. So I got 2 of these, and what did I pay for these? 700 yen, which is 5 euros and 39 cents, which is cheap. Last time I've never got Angora wool, so. But last time I checked, I thought it was pretty expensive. But then again, I don't know the mixture. This one, I do know the mixture of. This wool, surprisingly, it has a French name. It's called sucre wool. And I got this in the color matcha, so just, you know, matcha tea. And Ichigo miruku. So Ichigo is strawberry and miruku is milk. So strawberry, milk and matcha. And each is 100 grams of pure wool. Yardage is 100 grams per 304 meters. Did I say how much I paid for it? 900 yen, which is 7 euros and 14 cents, which is a good deal for 100 grams of yarn, of wool. 100% of wool. Yeah, so really happy with these. Moving on, I got mohair. I think I might even want to get a second one of this. It's 100 grams, and did it have a color? No, it was like one color. They just called it mohair online. 90% mohair, 10% nylon, and I don't think I wrote down how much it cost, but not more than 900 yen, so not more than 700 euros, not more than 7 euros for 100 grams, which is a steal. It's so cheap. Wow. Okay, and then the last one I wanted to talk about is this one called Hokkori wool, and it's in the color Kurumi. So this is 100 grams per 230 meters, and it is 900 yen. So I paid €7 14 for this. So basically, I got these 3 bad boys for a purpose, a specific purpose, and that is that I'm going to be using these to make socks. So recently, Laine, which is like, I believe, a Scandinavian, something up north in Europe, it's a company, a knitting company, and they had this book, they have like this series of like 52 weeks of this, 52 weeks of that, and they recently released 52 weeks of sock knitting volume 2, and they put out a challenge for people to try and knit like all the patterns in the book within a year. So basically 1 sock per week. And I was like, that's really nice, because I'll have to pay €36 for 52 sock patterns, which is less than €1 per pattern, which is a steal in the first place. It's well written, clear instructions, consistent. Everything is like, so why not just do that? I think there's like a prize with it as well. I heard like only 7 people participated or maybe completed this challenge last year, because they had a 52 weeks of sock knitting volume 1 last year. So either 7 people participated or 7 people finished, and that number kind of scared me, because that's not a lot, which makes me think that this is a hard challenge, which I actually know. I know it's a really hard challenge, but I mean, I thought it would be fun to do. I'm pretty sure there's like a prize, like you win something or something if you actually do it. I don't even know what it is. I just really I just thought like, oh, that seems like very fun. So a lot of the sock patterns are fingering weight. So I'm trying to figure out like a strategy on the best way to actually like knit these. Basically, there were also one of the reasons as to why I wanted to do this challenge is, for one, I think it's like a nice challenge. 2, I think it's challenging. 3, I'm almost finished with like freestyling my own socks. In total, I have 3.5 socks left for like the yarn that I have. And for like, socks are such a good project. So like, why not? Also, I might be joining the figure skating club at my uni. So that means that every morning about 6 a.m. or 7 in the morning, I need to go to a skating rink somewhere here in Tokyo. And it's, I think, about an hour's worth of travel. So I'm gonna be in like the train for an hour or 2 hours, like altogether every week on Saturday. So I was like, wouldn't it be great to always have a sock project at hand to do? So that is my final reason as to why I'm doing this. So I already have three like socks prepared. I've basically looked at all the ones that did not need like additional yarn, like more than one color. So I've made a list of that so that I can start off with those ones, since I think those will be the easiest to knit. So we'll see how that goes. I am going to try and document that. There are all sorts of things going on in my tiny dorm room. It's been going well. Also, I did try doing push-ups yesterday, and I hadn't done them for 2 weeks, and I tried them and it went well. Like, I'm even getting stronger than, like, I was doing them better than I did them before. I guess I just gave my body some time to rest, and now it's like, gained some power. And so now I'm like, hey, can you see the change? Wow. So now I'm, getting stronger. So that's cool. Yeah, no pain in recent times. Still trying to keep to like 20-30 minutes max of knitting at a time. Exercising still a lot. Things are going well. So, despite like the huge tragedy, besides the huge tragedy that I shall never mention ever again, things have been going quite well. So, I think it is time for me to say goodbye, and I will see you next time in the next podcast episode. Cheers! Ow, that was my hand just snapped. Okay, bye-bye.